up, YouTube? Conzilla here. This is day 7 of 31 Days of Horror, where I am reviewing a different horror movie for every day of the month of October. Tonight's film was a little cult classic called Klowns from Outer Space. This movie's been on my list for a while. Haven't gotten around to watching it until tonight. And let me just say, what a Nutters film. It's pretty much everything I was hoping it would be. This is obviously more on the lines of horror comedy, but that isn't a reason not to watch it. It's definitely a really fun, awesome, entertaining, just like goofy movie with still plenty of gore and kills to keep horror fans satisfied. Basic plot recap here with spoilers. Spoiler alert. The film starts out with a couple out on, the makeout point of the town that this takes place in, and they see a comet fly overhead, decide to go check it out, see where, because it seems to have landed nearby, and of course what they discover is a giant circus tent out in the middle of the woods, which strikes them as a little odd. They decide to go and peek around inside, discovering that it's no ordinary circus tent, but rather an alien spaceship filled with a race of clown-like aliens. And as they're wandering around, they find a room with all of these like giant things of cotton candy, and the dumb guy in the movie, he's over there like, oh, this is just how they store cotton candy before they send it off to the circus. But they kind of like peel some of the cotton candy away and realize that they're full of dead human bodies. And so they go and alert the police. There's a great sort of dumb cop character in this who's I don't know, Captain Mooney or Sergeant Mooney, and he's just a total dick in this movie. He's currently when we first are introduced to him, he's arresting two college kids because they were drinking some wine while walking out in public, and he's just up in arms, just typical dumb cop guy. He's really great. And so anyways, they warn the cops, who don't really believe them obviously, but the one cop was dating the main girl. I think her name was Debbie, maybe? I don't know. But they go out to investigate, and of course the clown spaceship is gone. But meanwhile, the clowns are just, wrecking havoc all over town, just killing people left, right, and center. Which eventually, he does discover, and the one cop and the guy and the girl, they all wind up going down to the boardwalk to figure out, the clowns actually kidnapped her, I believe. But it ends at the boardwalk, and, they have their big final showdown with the clowns, and there's a giant clown, Clownzilla, and they are able to, defeat the clowns and blow up their spaceship before they can take off, and, happy ending. So that's your basic plot recap there. This is just a fun movie. This was written, directed, and produced by the Chiodo brothers, who did the special effects for the Critters films, at least the first one. First two, at least. Anyways, yeah, you can tell that this was just a labor of love. They really go all out with the clown theme. There's a ton of great gags all throughout the movie. The clowns, the cotton candy cocoons that they store the bodies in, and then they stick, big bendy straws in and drink the blood from them. They have a popcorn gun. And later in the film, the little popcorns that got stuck all over Debbie. She's taking a shower. No gratuitous nudity, unfortunately, but the little popcorns are popping all over, and they grow into little weird, freakish baby clowns. There's a part where one clown's doing shadow puppets on the wall, and then turns the shadow into a T-Rex, which eats a bunch of people. Great stuff like that. One of the really cool scenes was after Mooney gets killed, the clown is using him as like a ventriloquist dummy and making him talk, and he's like, don't worry, we just want to kill ya. It's really great. So everything in the movie is just super fun, awesome visuals. great just 80s practical effect look to it. Inside the clown spaceship, the sets are pretty simple. They just have really foggy, fog all over the ground, and it's just dark, and then just wacky, colorful visuals all inside. Um, yeah, everything visually in this movie is just so well done, just so entertaining to watch. Um, yeah, it's definitely great, and a really solid synthy score as well. Like I said, I'm total fan of 80s synthy horror scores, and this movie is definitely pretty fun in that regard. The Killer Clown theme especially is pretty entertaining. Definitely will get stuck in your head. Um, Performance-wise, the actors do a serviceable job here. They're a little bit stiff and stilted throughout, but it doesn't really take away from the film because it's got such a campy vibe to it all throughout. And it just totally works. There are these two characters. I can't remember what their names are, but they're just like total dorks. They buy an ice cream truck at the beginning of the movie, and they're using it to pick up chicks. That's their big idea. So they're terrible comic relief, but it works in this type of film. So yeah, definitely not the scariest type of horror movie out there, but one that I would definitely recommend checking out just because there's nothing else quite like it. It's not hard to see why this has become such a cult classic, so definitely was glad to finally get to check this out. If you've seen this film before, go ahead and let me know what you think in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, and if you want to see more content like this in the future, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Like I said, I'm reviewing a different horror movie every day of the month, and there's still a lot of great films left on my list that we'll be checking out later on. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys next time.